Here's a bold statement. NBC's new competitive cheerleading mockumentary, Stumble, feels like a stumble itself, and not the kind that leads to a triumphant comeback. But here's where it gets controversial. While the show aims to blend underdog sports tropes with quirky humor, it often lands in a no-man's land of tonal confusion and underdeveloped characters. And this is the part most people miss. It's not that Stumble is outright bad. It's just trying so hard to be likable that it forgets to be memorable. In the second episode, elite coach Courtney, played by Jenn Lyon, delivers a pep talk to her squad. "When I look at this team, I see grit, determination, heart. That's what people are going to want to be here to be part of." Sounds familiar, right? It's the kind of boilerplate speech you've heard in countless sports stories, but here it feels oddly out of place, like a punchline that never arrives. Is this intentional or just a misstep? The show's creators, siblings Liz and Jeff Astrof, seem to be aiming for a mix of satire and sincerity. But the result is a comedy that veers wildly between half-baked jokes and unearned emotional beats. It's a mess, sure, but it's a mess with a smile, one you can't help but root for, even if it hasn't quite found its footing. Part of the issue might be the limited preview. Critics were only given the first 2 episodes, which spend so much time setting up the premise that they never settle into a rhythm. The premise itself is straightforward. Courtney, a 14-time champion coach, gets fired over a minor scandal and ends up at the laughably named Hiddleston State Junior College, where she's tasked with transforming a ragtag group of misfits into a competitive cheer squad. But here's the rub. It's hard to tell whether we're supposed to laugh at these characters or with them. Shows like Abbott Elementary and Parks Recreation master this balance by creating characters that are both absurd and endearing. Stumble, however, gives us characters who are big and broad, but lack the depth to leave a lasting impression. Take Courtney, for example. On paper, she's a perfect fit for Lyon, who excels at portraying commanding personalities. But the show struggles to balance her traits, pluck, naivete, determination, and delusion, leaving her feeling more confused than compelling. Her mantra, "I can, I will, I must," delivered in a monotone breath, sums up the show's uneven tone. It's trying so hard, but the effort doesn't always pay off. The supporting cast fares little better. Crystal, Anissa Borrego, is the ditzy but loyal star flyer, while Tammy Istini, Kristen Chenoweth, the assistant coach, is a running joke based on her tiny stature and oddly pronounced last name. Then there's Madonna, Ariana Davis, a narcoleptic cheerleader whose sudden bouts of sleep are funny the first time, and less so with each repetition. DeMarcus, Jared Austin Brown, is a football player who loves attention. Peaches, Taylor Dunbar, is a low-level criminal with parkour skills. And Steven, Ryan Pinkston, is a middle-aged man reliving his glory days. The rest of the squad? Largely nameless and forgettable. But here's the real question. Can Stumble turn this random bunch into a cohesive team? And more importantly, can it turn itself into a cohesive show? The formula is familiar, but it's one that works when executed well. Unfortunately, Stumble's attempts feel strained. Its jokes are either too obvious or too random, and its attempts at earnestness often fall flat. Even the recurring gags, like Madonna's narcolepsy, lose their charm quickly. And don't get me started on the blurred-out action figures owned by Courtney's husband, Boone, Taran Killam, a joke that left me more confused than amused. That said, Stumble is too harmless to hate. It's sloppy, sure, but it's also got potential. Most sitcoms take time to find their groove, and it would be unfair to write off the entire series based on just 2 episodes. Maybe, as the season progresses, the characters will become more well-rounded, the jokes sharper, and the emotions more genuine. Until then, though, it's hard to see Stumble as anything more than a promising idea still searching for its winning formula. What do you think? Is Stumble worth giving a chance? Or is it a show that's already lost its footing? Let's discuss in the comments. I'm curious to hear your take.